What's up, y'all? I'm Aisha and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know, I'm a laid back, chill type of person. I normally keep it right here, but today I feel a little excited. Today I feel a little turned up on the inside, and it's because for the next few weeks, I'm gonna be doing a series on friendships, and we're gonna have some special guests, and we're gonna have some real, raw, much needed dialogue on friendships. So stay tuned for that. And let's get into today. Let's get into what we're talking about today. Falling out with friends. I believe that is something that the majority of us will experience at least once. And I think I'm being very generous, at least once in our lives. And I've always thought of that quote that says, people come into your life for a reason or season or lifetime. And every time in the past that I've fallen out with someone, I've always just placed them in, okay, you were just a seasonal friendship, or okay, you were in my life to teach me this and that, and boom. Never thought anything else about it, right? And this year, I've not fallen out with any friends, but I've been able to process with some other people in my life that I care about who are feeling like they are falling out with their friends. And the interesting thing is, it's one thing to just process with a friend and like you don't know who the other person is, but it's a whole nother thing when you know both people and like one person is coming to you saying this and like the other person totally believes that everything is like good and solid. And as I started to have more of these experiences this year, it has given me a whole new perspective on falling out with friends. And I believe it's given me what I'm gonna say is like the missing link or the missing piece when we believe we are falling out with a friend or like our friendship is different. And before we get into anything else, let's define what falling out with friends is. And for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna say falling out with a friend is, someone you're cool with, and then out of nowhere, you guys stop texting, you stop talking, you stop hanging out, and there's no particular reason. I think that is a very important part to highlight because you can definitely fall out with friends because they did something shady or they backstabbed you or they betrayed you. But when nothing happens or you're hanging out with this person, you're just like, I don't know, I feel tension or like the vibe is different. What is it? And that can lead to us falling out with friends. And I just think of like a sailboat, while you're up close, the dock is right there. You see the boat, you can get on the boat and it's in your reach. But through time, after time, that boat gets further and further and further away. And before you know it, that boat is long gone. You can't see it. And I believe that happens to some of our friendships. And what I want to talk about today is, again, that missing piece, that missing element. And it made me reflect on the past friendships I've had where we've fallen out. And I realized I never had a conversation with my friends. I just let things fall apart. I just let us drift away. We just stopped talking. I never questioned it. I never checked in. And I think it has a lot to do with my maturity level. Now, I listened to this sermon not too long ago from Elevation Church. I love listening to their podcast, and it was by Robert Madu, and he basically said that your ability to get offended is in direct correlation with your maturity. And I was like, oh snap, that's deep. Then after another 30 seconds, I was like, oh dang, he's speaking to me. I bring that up and I know in that context, he's speaking towards your ability of getting offended. And that's something I've definitely wrestled with in the past. But when he said that and just the experiences that I've had this year, it made me think that it takes maturity to actually bring these feelings to your friend to say, hey, I don't know if you feel like this, or I've been feeling some tension, or, we're not talking like we used to, and I actually really miss talking to you. You know what? It's not only maturity, it's vulnerability, because that is hard. And then I started thinking about the people that I've fallen out with in the past, and the people that I've let drift out of my life and fade out of my life, and what friendships could have been saved, what friendships could have been restored if we simply had a conversation instead of being a bystander and watching those relationships drift away. So I would love to know what you guys have to say about that. What is falling out with a friend for you? And can you relate like me in the past of never really having a conversation with that person? And like before you completely fall out with a person, you start feeling something like, and in that moment, that is when we should have a conversation. And I just thought about all the people that I've walked with that process this year how many of them did not want to have a conversation with that person. And I was able to encourage them being on the outside, like, you need to talk. You've been friends with this person for how many years? Or, they've been with you in the highs of highs and the lows of lows. Why are you just gonna let that relationship drift away by an assumption? And again, you could be feeling how you're feeling totally by yourself, and the other person does not even feel that way. So as we wrap up today, I would love to know, how do you define falling out with a friend? And like me, have you never had a conversation with any of those people that you've fallen out with in the past? And how could that have changed? And maybe you're watching this video and thinking, just as I'm thinking as I'm recording this, man, I should probably reach out to this person. Maybe you need to do it afraid and reach out. Maybe you need to do it afraid and share your heart with someone before you let a good, amazing friendship drift apart and fade out of your life. I am so hyped for next week, and I'll see you then.